You want to get started by picking up yarn in your preferred color. I'm going to be using red, and we want to start by making our magic ring. I will be using a 4.5mm hook to make the granny square. Once you've formed your magic ring, make a chain 2. We'll be working a treble crochet, so you want to yarn over twice, then go into the center of the magic ring, pull up your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the second 2 loops, and pull through the third 2 loops. Work another treble crochet. Again, we are pulling up the yarn, going through the first 2 loops, going through the second 2 loops, and then the last 2 loops. You're going to work 1 more treble crochet. And now we have a total of 3 treble crochets. Once you have those 3, next you want to work double crochets. So yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. So only twice for the double crochet. Once again, yarn over, go in, pick up your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. Work 1 more double crochet. Once you have a total of 3 trebles and 3 double crochets, you want to chain 2, and then work 1 treble crochet, chain 1, and then you're basically going to be doing what you did to the other side. So work 3 double crochets, so 1, 2, and a third double crochet, and then next work 3 treble crochets, one, 2, the third and final double crochet, and then make a chain of 2. And now we want to close up the ring, so you can do that by pulling the string of yarn and then work you can either work a slip stitch, or I like to do a single crochet because later when I'm doing the square part I can work into that single crochet space. So this is what you should be having so far. Cute heart-shaped sort of applique, and then we're just going to work around that and make the granny square. So you can finish off by cutting the yarn, and you want to leave a bit of yarn for hiding once you're done. So you can tighten the center bit by pulling the yarn so that you don't see any space in between. And there we have it. We're done with the hat. And to get started on the granny square, you want to take yarn in a different color. I'm going to be using white, and we want to first attach it to the hat. So we're going to be working around the stitches we just made, and for the first one we're going to just attach it on top of the treble crochet stitch we made at the bottom part of the hat, the one treble crochet stitch. And you want to go as if you're working in the back loop, but you'll be having you pick up 2 loops at the bottom. I hope it's clear in the demonstration. You can attach your yarn by either working a normal stitch, or you can pull the yarn and then just make a knot, and then work your first stitch, and then sew into the next space. As you can see, I'm going under 1 loop, but at the bottom I'm picking up 2 stitches. So work a single crochet, next yarn over, and you're going to be working a half double crochet. So go under the stitch, pick up 2 loops at the bottom, and then work your half double crochet. Chain 2. This is going to make our corner space for the granny square. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, and for this stitch we're going to be working a double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, work a half double crochet. So you'll notice that the stitches go on reducing. Now we're going to be working a single crochet, and this is just so as to make the side straight, because the top of the hat is wide but the bottom is narrower. So in order to fit it into a square shape, we're using different stitches to give us those different lengths. For the next stitch we're going to work a slip stitch and also another slip stitch. So that's one side of the square. Chain 2. So for the top part, start with a slip stitch. Because this is a chain 2, you're just going to go in between the stitches, meaning you won't have 2 at the bottom. Next, yarn over and work a half double crochet. So at the center there, try and find a place where you can fit a double crochet. It's gonna be difficult, but just find any place where you can get your hook into, and then just work that double crochet. As you can see, half of the square is already forming, and you're just going to finish off the other side. So work a half double crochet next. Then to finish off the top side, we're going to be working a slip stitch. chain 2 for our third corner. So this side is going to be similar to the opposite side, so you want to start this side though with a slip stitch, 2 slip stitches. So the first one, and the second slip stitch, then we go to the single crochet because we want to make the stitches wider as we go down. Next we work the half double crochet, and lastly for this side we're going to be working a double crochet. I hope you guys are going as if you're working in the back loop rather than going through both stitches and then you pick up 2 stitches on the other side. So chain 2, which is going to be our last corner, and then work a half double crochet into that next stitch, and into the last stitch work a slip stitch, and then just join with a slip stitch to the beginning stitch, or rather where you had started to join the white yarn. Okay, so this is what you have so far. So we've already put the heart into a small square, and now we're going to be adding the outer row for this. Chain 2, work a double crochet into the same space as the chain 2, and then work 1 double crochet into each stitch until we get to the corner. In the corner you want to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, then work 2 more double crochets. When you're starting each side, be sure not to miss out on this stitch that's close to the corner. It's easy to miss, so one thing you should find is that you should have 5 stitches that you had made prior, and then we're going to be adding the 2 double crochets into each corner for each side. Work 2 stitches into the corner, make a chain 2, and then work 2 more stitches, then continue working 1 double crochet into each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we work the corner space. So work 2 again, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then work 2 more double crochets. So just ensure you have the 5 stitches for each side without counting the 2 double crochets that we are adding into the corner space. So for this row, each side should have a total of 9 stitches, so be sure to make sure that that's what you have on your granny square. Now we're just working the last corner. And so once you're done, you're going to have one last stitch to work, and then you can join it to the top of the chain 2, and that's it. If you want to make the granny square bigger, you can definitely go another row. Just remember to work the corners the same way. And so yeah, this is how I made my granny squares for the cardigan that was for Valentines. So I'm just showing you guys the stitch count. So it's like 9 stitches and then a corner. So if you want to add, you just work into the 9 stitches, but make sure to do the 2 double crochets, chain 2, then 2 double crochets for each corner. So this is the cardigan I was telling you guys about, and I used the zigzag stitch to join. I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can follow. I think it was from, so as you may or may not be able to tell, I actually used 2 different shades of white for this because I had old yarn, like from 3 years ago, old white yarn, and then I used it with, it ended before I finished the cardigan, so I had to use some new white yarn, and so the old white yarn looks almost like some off-white. So I kind of like how it looks with this because it really goes well with the blue jeans, and it doesn't look so boring as when it would have been plain white. So you can, if you want to have this effect, I think off-white yarn plus pure white yarn would work well for you. So just a short breakdown for how I put the whole thing together. So at the back I had 5 by 5, that is 5 granny squares at the top and 5 rows of granny square for going vertically. And then for the hands I did 7 by 3 granny squares. So, but I wish I'd done 4 by 6 because 1, it was too long, and also it was kind of tight. So, and this is a size small, so if you're bigger than me, you want to use more granny squares. Then for the front part I did 2 by 5. Yes. Then I just joined everything together using the zigzag stitch. Okay, so that's what I did, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to give a thumbs up if you liked it. You can use different shades of colors to make the granny squares, and it will give you a really cool effect. That's one thing I've realized. And this is a top I made to go with the sweater because I couldn't find anything that I felt was good enough to wear with this sweater. So I made this top. Then you'll notice at the bottom it doesn't have any outlining because I thought I'd run out of yarn, but then I found out I had more yarn. But then I was too lazy to add it, so I just left it. But I might add a little ribbing stitch at the bottom for better hold. Okay, so that's it, guys. Bye bye.